Now I'm sharing the screen. Yeah, is it visible?
Thank you. Yes, I can see that.
Okay. Now, yesterday we saw how to test the application, what are the test process activities, what type of testing should be done in the level 2, level 1, and level 3. Right.
Right.
Okay. Now, today we have to focus on STLC process. See, what is meant by SDLC?
Software testing life cycle.
Yeah, STLC means very good. Yeah, STLC means software tester life cycle. Okay. Yeah. So we have to cover these things, right? STLC means software
Mm-hmm.
test life cycle. Okay. So this is called as software tester life cycle. Okay. See here. Software tester. Software tester.
Life cycle.
Yeah. First and foremost is requirement analysis. We can
Mm-hmm.
gather the FRS specifications in this stage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, the FRS specifications are the design documents which are provided by system analyst or might be a business system analyst or maybe a design architect that will be given to the developer as well as for the testers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what it contains? FRS which contains overview, page elements, prototype, input validation, transflow diagram, and use cases. Right?
Right.
Okay. So today I will send those templates to you also specifically. Okay. Yeah.
These ones you mean?
Yeah. These PPTs also I will send to you.
Okay.
Recording sessions will be sent to you as well as these PPTs also I will send to you. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Software test life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
First, we gather the requirements. After
Mm-hmm.
gathering the functional requirements, we have to plan to test. We have to do yes. Test plan will be very important and crucial role for testing. So it contains two types of test plans:
Mm-hmm.
level, system level test plan, and then module level test plan. So module level test plan is basically for individual build. Whatever the build will be retrieved by the testers on that build, what type of testing should be done, what not to be tested, that everything will be represented in this document, module level test plan.
So
And
module level you said is the individual testing?
exactly
Mm-hmm.
individual builds implemented.
Like the system level would be for like entire thing from
Very
back
good.
to back. And the
Exactly.
module is going to be the small units that actually make the entire system. So when we test each unit separately, individually, that is module, right?
Yeah, not unit,
Okay.
not unit. Individual build, I'm saying. One
Okay.
module.
Individual build. Okay.
Individual mode. So component testing, unit testing will be done on the build. That is called as
Uh-huh.
module level test plan. You cannot do integration testing on module level test plan. uh, I mean, individual builder. When we do integration testing, after the individual builds are developed and tested, and all defects are fixed and rectified, passed, then we will combine all the builds and we will generate the total application. In that scenario,
So,
we focus on
so
integration.
basic, so basically, you are saying is that units, when together, they make the build,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Okay.
builds, when
Oh,
put together, then it becomes the system, right?
exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Very good. See, I will show you. Practically, I
Mhm.
will show you. Just a minute. So this session will be comes tomorrow, but not today. So sample I'm telling you. See, unit testing. Unit is nothing but collection of objects. Segment is nothing but collection of units. Module is nothing but collection of segments. Application nothing but collection of bits. Collection of modules. This is the way to test for individual build, and totally in integration level, all modules will be grouped together and validated. That is called as application.
Okay.
It's clear. So this thing, this topic will be teach tomorrow. But today
Mhm.
we concentrate on software testing life cycle.
Okay.
Yeah. Next. Okay. Requirement analysis. We have to do a requirement analysis.
Mhm. So, which basically means we put all the requirements together, understand them,
Yeah.
like what the requirements are and why do we need to test them.
Exactly.
Mhm.
FRS specifications. Okay. Then, if possible, they will provide clarity of the build also by designing the individual builds. Okay, a FRS specification may be orally written on a document, but design
Mhm.
specifications are called clearly understanding about the prototype of a build, page elements, whatever things. Sometimes few people in some companies they will directly provide the design
Mhm.
specification. This is also called as sometimes FRS specifications. This is
Mhm.
okay. This should be gathered in the
Okay.
first level. That is level one. Next, and next we have to go for level two. In level two, we have to focus on test plan. Here in test plan, what happens?
In the test plan, we create a strategy like how we are going to do it, where
Very,
we write the test cases.
very good. What is the
And
test?
then we also determine the what kind of environment we are going to test in, like
Very
what
good.
kind of, supposing like what kind of device we are going to use, or what kind of platform we are going to use, if it's going to be Android, iOS,
Mm,
whatever environment we choose.
okay, good, good.
Mm.
So in FRS specification, the person gain domain knowledge. Okay, person will gain
Mm-hmm.
domain knowledge, and then if the modules navigation procedures. Next, environment. Basically, for manual testing, it is not required the environment. Suppose if you want to go for manual testing and database testing, you have to know the knowledge of like SQL or SQL Server or MySQL or MongoDB. Those concepts should be known in environmental criteria. Okay, this is should be occurred in FRS specifications, and the design specifications may introduce what we saw, what we tell, overview, nothing but description of the individual builder. Okay, overview. And next we have prototype or wireframe or screenshot or whatever it may be, page elements, next task flow diagram, and what else? Use cases. Okay. In design specification, it will be occurred. This is called as a requirement analysis. In test plan, we have system level test plan or module level test plan. Okay, module level test plan. In this, what happens? What we will get? Okay, yeah, what we will get? Test strategy. What to test, what not to test, how to test, who to test. This all scenarios will come under this in this category. Yeah. What to test, how to test, how to test. Okay, how to test, who to test, into test. What to test, how to test, who to test, when to test. Okay, this is called as test plan. So basically system level test plan or and module level test plan will be prepared, which implements individual builds for module level. System test plan is comes under complete application after integration testing will occur. Okay, this is very important. What to test, how to test, who to test, and when to test. These scenarios will be focused here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Test planning means this is the thing. This is called as test plan. Yeah. So this is the template. It is not created for a particular application. This is a normal template which is applicable for every app. Test plan template. First, we can introduce the project overview. Next, if at all any references should be reviewed.
Can you scroll back for yeah. Okay, thank you.
If you people are going to review any documents for preparation of test plan, we have to gather the references, enter all the documents that were referred by the manager to prepare this type of a plan, test plan. So basically, not testing engineer is going to prepare the test plan. Test plan is prepared by the superiors in the experts group like
Mhm.
quality analyst or test manager. Okay, but sometimes the senior testing engineer may be involved in testing, sorry, involved in preparation of test plan. So if at all any person in the industry, the person can ask, are you involved in preparation of test plan? Means you have to say, yes, I'm involved in test plan, but not I prepared. I involved in the preparation of test plan, what to be tested, what not to be tested, what is the scope of testing, what features to be tested, what features not to be tested. These things should be derived from my respective build. For module level test plan, you have to say like that. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, this is called project overview and the references. See, scope, what type of feature to be tested, should not be tested. This is very 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 important. We have actually, how many types of testings we have? Totally we
Positive and
consider.
negative.
Yeah, totally we have system testing. In system testing, what sort of test should be tested, that should be focused. Suppose client needs functional testing, means you have to do only functional testing. Don't go in depth of performance or security. Of course, we do performance usable non-functional criteria, but roughly, briefly, but not in depth, because the client needs only functional test. Okay,
Mhm.
so according to the requirement you have to move, and depend upon the tool you have to focus on testing. That is called as features to be tested, features not to be tested, features not to be tested. Okay, next is strategy. In the strategy, this is the fourth point. Testing types should be involved here. Entry criteria, see, this is very 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 important. Testing types, see, I said no. Basically we have 10 testing types for functional validation, like compatibility testing, retesting, regression testing, then input domain testing, functionality testing, unit testing, component testing, interdomain testing, parallel testing. So many testing types will be available. I will teach you in next session. This all comes
Mhm.
this all comes under testing types. See, in the plan, what sort of testing should be tested should be clearly mentioned over here. Depend upon that, you have to focus on that. Okay, depend upon that, you have to focus on that. And next, ETVX mode. So this is very important. Yeah, we can test ETVX process. Means what? Entry, exit, entry, verification, task, verification, and exit. And exit. See, what is the entry criteria for a design in
When
SDL?
to start testing?
Better?
Entry would be when to start testing.
No, not testing. I'm asking for development. In that we have requirement analysis, right? We can gather the requirement from the stakeholder. After that, we
Mhm.
after that we go for requirement analysis, right?
Right.
Yeah, in SDLC. Now tell me, in SDLC, what is the entry criteria for system analysis?
Are we talking about the developer stage or the testing stage?
Yeah, in testing state, I am asking.
It's first is verification, then validation.
Okay, verification and validation. See, in analysis phase, whatever that depend upon this document only, you have to do. You can prepare SRS or FRS, isn't it?
Yeah, the system requirement and the functional requirement.
Exactly. System analyst is looking for these documents which are reviewed, then you can going to prepare SRS and FRS, right?
Mhm.
So these documents are called as entry criteria. This is the interview query. What is meant by ETVX? Okay.
Okay.
This is called as entry criteria. Next.
So when we talk about EVTX, we are actually talking about the prior testing stage.
Yeah, prior testing stage will be involved, but sample in SDLC also we have ETVX process. So in prior testing, what we do here means here the to do test planning requirement analysis is the entry criteria.
Let me just say that one time so that I understood it correctly. So EVTX comes under two different things. One is under the SDLC,
Ah,
where the superiors do the entry, where like
exactly.
the documents are gathered, the
Very-
verification and validation is done,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
the second time it comes in STLC,
SDLC. Yeah,
where the entry basically means when the testers come into the picture.
very good. Very good.
Okay.
Test is comes
Okay.
into the picture. So entry task verification exit means, see, the basic, and I'm focusing on STLC right now. See,
Mhm,
to do test planning, to do documentation of test plan, this is entry criteria.
mhm,
In this document, based on FRS, based on FRS specification, you will create some document. That is the task which is done by the superiors for this phase.
mhm.
It should be verified and it's closed and then goes to the next stage. Again, in test planning, we have entry criteria is analysis. The task to do is test plan document, verify it, close it, and moves to the next stage. Here, the entry criteria is test planning. Task to do the document is nothing but a test case preparation based on scenarios, steps, conditions, whatever it may be, and the
But
verified.
are testers involved in the requirements analysis, or they are involved from test planning?
Okay, yes, testers involves right from requirement analysis. That's what I said.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what yeah, that's what I said. No, so should be reviewed by the testers only. No, without this, how can you can analyze the plan? What
No,
will
I
be
got I got confused because you said the superiors do that. So I thought even over here the superiors do the analysis in
no, no, no.
STLC, but they do that in SDLC, not in STLC.
Wait. Superiors will prepare the documentation, but reviewed by analysis is done by.
Testers. Okay.
Okay, you get
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You got the
Yeah.
doubt? Clear the doubt?
Yes, yes, it's clear
It
now.
should be reviewed by the testers. Documentation is prepared by the superiors, but reviewed
Mm-hmm.
but reviewed by the testers, right?
Right, right.
Good. Okay, this is the thing. Fine. Next.
Because if they do not do the analysis, then they are not able to prepare the test cases then.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
Without domain knowledge, it is not. Is it not possible to prepare the cases according to the steps and condition and execution part? Right.
Right. Right.
See, see what I'm saying. Simply, I given one application.
Mm-hmm.
I given one application and I asked to test it. Is it possible to test it? I given this application to test.
Mm-hmm. But
Means
I need but I also need the requirements, like
is
what am I testing and why am I testing? So before I could start it, I need those requirements and
yeah.
specifications.
Specification. You have to know domain knowledge. Without domain knowledge, is it possible to test it?
No.
It is not. It will not be done. No, those all comes under each and every stage. We have ETVX process: entry,
Okay.
task, verification, and exit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the plan. Now we are focusing on plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is testing types. That these testing types should be covered by me tomorrow. See, entry
Mm-hmm.
criteria, when to start testing,
Mm-hmm.
when which type of testing should be analyzed here, and after that immediately we have to gather the information and start the testing depend
Mm-hmm.
upon the function specifications, suspensions and resumption criteria, task, what is the output should be analyzed, how much it is critical if the defect is caused, how to rectify the problem, everything will be analyzed here. And finally, we have to close, stop the testing. Okay. Once,
So suspension comes in if we find a defect and we
yeah,
have to determine how urgent that needs to be fixed.
yeah,
Based on that, we have to stop the testing if it has to go back to be fixed immediately, right?
exactly, exactly. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So these are the all comes under test strategy. See, 4.1
Mm-hmm.
testing types, entry criteria, suspension and resumption criteria, exit criteria, communication plan, communication plan, status reporting, automation plan, defect tracking. Okay, these all steps comes under total test strategy. And another question, what is meant by test strategy? Is the test strategy is part of test plan, or test plan is part of test strategy? Means the test strategy is a part of test plan where and when we have to test what type of testing should be done, how to communicate with the development people and the rest of the stakeholder, everything comes under test strategy. You have to say like that. So this is
Mm-hmm.
a communication plan. You have to know the who the build is developed by the developer, his respective mail ID to report purpose. Of course, you cannot report as a testing error. You can simply find out the defect and throw back to the senior most lead. Okay, there he will look after to report it. But sometimes you may have to know these things also if you want to go for a next level. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this all
Obviously, like in the bigger companies, they might have that post, and sometimes in the smaller companies, they might not have that post.
exactly depend upon the company to company it may vary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if at all you are using the automation plan for it, what is that automation test process that should be analyzed, and finally defect tracking, debugging it. Okay, this all comes under test strategy. Next, very important, test environment. I'm not saying the normal environment, I'm saying test environment. Specify the exact test environment and the requirements in this section. Means what is the operating system, what is
Um,
the
one second, Shiva. Can you scroll back to the previous slide where you were showing me that, yes, yes, communication plan, status reporting, and what was after that?
Automation plan, defect tracking.
Okay. So automation plan, I should just know the basic, but not the details because
Yeah, yeah.
that's not
So
okay.
you
And
have
defect
to know,
tracking. Okay.
you have to know automation plan.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
automation plan is simple automation test process. We have
Mm-hmm.
to know automation test process over here.
Okay.
See, first what we have to do feasibility analysis. Gather the requirement. Select
Mm-hmm.
the appropriate tools. There are so many tools in the market, but
Mm-hmm.
what type of the automation tool best suits for testing your requirement should be selected. Then evaluate the framework means all the modules supported documentation like library files, test data, functional validation, then test results, test reports. Okay, object repository, everything should be prepared and evaluated with respect to the framework architecture. Here in retesting and regression testing will also be done over here. Build the proof of concept and develop the framework, generate the script, execute, and analyze. This is all together called as automation test process. Of course, based on manual steps only we can implement the automation part. But the thing is, here what happens, we can validate and generate the scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Here we can generate the scripts. See, this is an Eclipse. Based on the tool, we will generate the script.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you those things later. But okay, next planning. It takes some time to navigate. Okay, yeah. Next, test environment. What is the test environment and the requirements which are needed to test the application build? Bed requirements. Generally the questions like that in interview people they will ask, what is the test bed requirements?
Mm-hmm.
Like like specifications of hardware resources, what is the operating system should be tested based on the networking topology, configuration of the product and system, what is the applications or system software should be used. This all
Mm-hmm.
under bed requirements. And this is the software requirements like web servers, app servers, browsers, database, everything. See,
Mm-hmm.
version available. In most of the cases we use latest version only. Okay, that should be mentioned in the table format. And database requirements also mentioned in the table format. Hardware requirements, any other environmental setups. Okay, if required for specifications of setup of further environment should be mentioned over here. Next, deliverables. So these are deliverables, very important. What is meant by deliverable? The
Everything together.
yeah, pede,
Everything together, when we put it, it's called
yeah,
test deliverables, like
yeah,
test plan, test conditions, test environment, test cases.
exactly.
Mhm.
Deliverable. What are the specifications of the test should be tested for a particular build is called as deliverables. It contains three categories: before test, during test, after test. I will teach you later part. Okay, once the project is started. Next, staffing plan. This is also very important. It is also part of test plan. Why? Because you have to mention that test lead, how many persons, what is his responsibility, what is his contact number, what is his mail ID, everything. Why? Because this should will be useful to report to a individual build who gets it for testing to
Mhm.
report to the developer. Okay, this all facilities will be provided in staffing plan.
So who does this? The team lead does that?
Yeah, team lead on test lead, not team lead, test lead. You say test because we are
Yeah,
testers,
test
not
lead. Okay,
developers.
test lead. Yeah.
Test lead.
I meant to say
But
the testing team lead.
yeah, might be lead or might be a
Mm-hmm.
manager, might be a test manager. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, test manager will be going to create these things, test plan specifications. But in some companies, the lead is also act a role of manager. Okay, that
Depending on the company.
yeah, depend upon the company. Staffing plan should be analyzed, and you have to focus on risk and contingency. This is also very important. What you are estimating should be listed over here for testing of this particular project. How many failures are occurred? If the critical failure is occurred, how to resolve that? That is also very important. Risk and contingents. Okay, how critical it is and how to resolve it. That is also very important. Suppose your build consists of very high severity and priority defect. It means suppose I'm giving valid data. Even though when you inserted a valid data, it is not permitting to move further. It is not getting the page. Then
Mm-hmm.
it is a critical defect, right? Should it is called as a showstopper defect. Should be rectified immediately. Otherwise, we cannot move further. Okay, okay. That is called as a risk. That is called as a risk. Okay, how to resolve it is called as contingents. That should be provided. And next, finally, we go for milestones. How many days it takes, when to start, when to end. What is the deliverables? Test plan approval. Effort means how much time it is taking. Case design, approved deliverables. Output. This is deliverable output. Case implementation, documentation. Execution. The output is pass or fail criteria. Test automation directed documentation. Report, test results, summary. This all comes under milestones. Okay, milestone is nothing but duration. How much time it is taking to prepare all these documents. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
overall figure should not be like a rough figure. It should be clarity in that. Okay, so how much time it is taking to test it, implement it, execute it, send the defect, fix the debug, and retest it, and report it. Everything the clearly should be mentioned. That is called as milestones. Nothing but duration of a particular documentation from end to end testing.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear?
Right.
Up to here it is clear?
Yep.
Yeah. Tomorrow I will ask about this documentation. I will forward it to you and I will ask
Okay.
about this documentation. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Fine. Next, finally, we have to provide the
I
approval.
actually took the screenshot. Even if you don't want to send it, it's okay.
Okay. Take the screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took. Okay.
Yeah, Shiva, it's fine.
Yeah. Fine.
Yep, good.
Okay. Hardware requirements, planning. And next, milestones, approvals. Okay. Finally, it should be approved by the superiors. Then it will be implemented. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I said the CMM standards, capability maturity model. Okay. Most of the cases, software industries were provided with and those ratings. So in that also we have a purely type of testing concepts for delivering of quality product. So you will call as a RP in a company. Okay, he also involved in these approvals. Then next step will be going to be started.
RP
Nothing.
means?
Uh, representative. I forgot actually. I used to work there. RP means just like a review planner or what it may be. A representative officer. Representative officer who will be purely focused on documentation part in testing or in development part also. Okay, so
Okay,
you will look
okay,
after use cases, collaboration diagrams, class diagrams, flow charts. See, in database we have flow charts, right? Okay, those all documents should be provided, approved, and by the quality editor. Quality editor. He, it,
okay,
he might be an internal auditor in a company.
okay.
Okay. There's a specific role for that. So, see, there is a lot of growth in testing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you may become first test engineer, then you may go for test.
I'm just curious about one thing. When I attended this, like the session, many people actually were talking about they've taken the courses for Scrum Master. So basically, have they done the testing before, or they just jumped onto Scrum Master directly?
Good question. So first, initially, you have to know man testing. Then you better to go for Scrum Master. Why? Because in
No, I understand that part. What my question was, like people who were doing the Scrum Master, it means basically they are already working as manual testers or testers.
no, no, no. It is not important like that. See, Scrum Master will going to create the project, assign the creation of melodies of developers, testers who in based upon the duration, how much task should be developed, how to test it.
No,
So
no, no, no. My question is different, Shiva. What I am saying is, do people go to work as Scrum Masters directly, or they first work as testers and then they are promoted as Scrum
no,
Masters?
no, no. So Scrum
Hmm.
Master will be parallelly. It will be occurred. Otherwise, we can go for directly for Scrum Master also.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. Okay,
Yeah.
so
That
basically, though, everybody who goes for a Scrum Master must have done a testing course first and then the Scrum Master course, right?
it's, it's an added advantage when like that it will happen. It will be added advantage for that. See, but
Okay.
not a compulsory as a
Mm-hmm.
Scrum Master need to know testing.
Okay.
But but he has to know end to end, right? If you know
Mm-hmm.
end to end, say right from requirements gathering from the stakeholders to the maintenance, but if you know everything,
Mm-hmm.
that is
Mm-hmm.
better for you. You can have a
Got you.
multiple activities, right?
Right.
You may become like a multiple role involvement in an organization if you know those things also. Your payment will be more when compared to remaining people. That's when nowadays what happening. See, they are focusing for full stack. full stack Python, full stack Java, like that. Web designing, web development, database testing, database development, everything will be going to be involved in that.
Got you.
Yeah, that is thing like that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it it will be
Mm-hmm.
an advantage for this senior.
Uh-huh.
So these are the designations: senior test
Uh-huh.
engineer, test lead, and next test manager,
Uh-huh.
QA lead, uh, then s- s- BA, business analyst, might be if you're having a expertise in the particular banking domain or whatever it may be. If you do MBA, then product owner, and you have to go for design architect too. Design
Got you.
architect, scrum master, and finally you can become a CMM certified holder for internal auditor. So these are all comes under non-coding task. Okay.
Got you.
Yeah. So if you go for this, this is the high-end category,
Mm-hmm.
most high-end category. Okay. This much career growth is available for each and every company.
Got you.
If it is MNC company, if it is MNC, then only it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most of the cases MNC companies need same standards
Mm-hmm.
like that. These are the opportunities.
So you are also working as a quality testing engineer right now?
Previously, I used to work, but I'm now freelancer. We will
Okay.
borrow the requirements from the. Uh, See, we have a team actually, 4 5 members.
Mm-hmm.
We are working in that based on US times or might sometimes UK times or sometimes. Of course, the we have small projects too. Okay, you know Paytm or Phone Pay.
Yes.
Okay, one of the product we are developing, my friend is developing. If it is completely implemented and dumped into the server and all the users are using, so it is a very big opportunity when compared to so many available features, user-friendly features are there when compared to phone pay. So we can remove the phone pay and we replace it with respect of this product like that.
Okay.
It will be. So
So you do the developing part or you are into the testing part?
I'm in testing part only, not
You
in
are in testing
part,
part. Okay.
not
Okay.
in development part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Orkut.
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Orkut. Now we are most familiar with Facebook, right?
Right.
Because Orkut is not beaten by the Facebook because the images
Mm-hmm.
are not dynamically changing over there. There's much more drawback when compared to Facebook. So
Right.
Orkut is finished and Facebook is coming into the picture. Like that,
Uh-huh.
future what happens according to the announcement, we have to follow that.
Okay.
Okay, like that. So first we do requirement analysis and we can do test plan specifications,
Mm-hmm.
empty task verification, exit. And after that, planning. Next, case development, test case development. So this is the major documentation lever to execute the test cases. What exactly before test case development, we have to know traceability matrix. We have to know traceability matrix. Okay, test case development. No? Yeah, test case development. In this, we have to know first traceability matrix. Test clarification note, test scenario, test cases. In the test cases, we have test steps and test conditions. After that, we go for test logs. Means pass fail criteria. I will tell you everything clearly. See, I'm providing a paperwork. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
implemented the project work. I'm focusing on paperwork only. Okay, test logs.
Right.
Yeah, test steps, test conditions, test execution. Okay, test execution, analyzing the test, analyzing the test log reports. Okay, and finally, okay. Now tell me what is meant by traceability matrix. Traceability matrix means
We have to kind of trace that all the requirements have been met.
very good. See, this is comes under roles and responsibilities of testing team. Manager will do these things.
Mhm,
Strategy, plan, traceability matrix, data matrix. Lead
mhm,
will review the cases which are prepared by the engineer.
mhm,
Sometimes prepares the additional newly added functionalities by the requirements which are added by the developer. He will
mhm,
prepare the bug reports, summary reports. What the engineer will do is he will prepare the scenarios, cases, execute, and find out the defects. That is only one three responsibility which is done by engineer. The rest of the thing is done by test lead or senior test engineer and lead or a manager. Depend upon that company to company, it may vary. That is
mhm.
that is the thing. So I already said about the process. See, before as I know, tested deliverables. The documents or tools, other components should be supported for testing. Before testing means provided for plan, case, design specifications. Involvement of testing means scripts if it is automation tool. The data is required. Traceability matrix should mean traceability matrix means whatever the functional specifications are there, that's all should be migrate converted to the cases and error logs and execution logs. This is during testing. After testing, we can analyze the results, pass or fail criteria, report the defects. If there is any procedures for guidelining of installation that should be done, and release notes. This all are comes under deliverables. And this is a manual test approach: plan, analysis, design, execution. See, I said no, what to test, how to test, who to test, when to test. This is called as test plan. Okay, these things.
Mhm.
This is a standard IEEE format of test plan specification, which I said now. Okay, these things. So, requirement gathering and analysis, test analysis. Okay, requirement documentation of FRS specification should be uh, gathered. If there is any changes in the requirement, otherwise we have some confusion in gathering the requirements based on the requirement clarification note. Based on requirement clarification note, we can clarify the requirements with the document called requirement clarification note. The document called requirement clarification note. These things I will provide you anyway. Okay. So suppose in this page, in the FRS specification, it is not clearly provide there as per task flow diagram had been tried to delete branch system, but for dependency which is not clear. So we cannot delete a branch which is having customers and transactions. If there is a requirements like customers and test data is already there, it is not possible to delete it. So we can get the clarification based on the requirement clarification note, but having a conversation with the stakeholders. That is called as requirement clarification note.
Okay.
So I will provide these all things to you. Yeah. So BRS means basically these things will be provided like SRS and BRS, whatever be client, project, existing drawbacks and existing proposed system, project architecture. And I said about FRS, overview, prototype, page elements, use case diagram, input validation, task flow diagram, use cases. And next we have very, very important, from here the documentation starts. Traceability matrix, mapping all functional requirements into corresponding test cases. Means, suppose this is the build. This is the build. See, these are all are purely, see, when you click on about cycles, it navigates to the next page. We are not moving to the page, but what are the features it is there that should be estimated and get to prepare the steps based on the conditions. Okay, but now only this bill should be tested first. Okay, individual bill for individual bill. Okay, what it's saying? We are mapping all these requirements which are available based on the expected behavior should be converted to the test cases with respect of test steps. That is called as traceability matrix. Means mapping all functional requirements into corresponding test cases. And if there is no clarity in the requirement, we can take the clarification from the requirement clarification note. And coming to scenario, all the possible areas to be tested. Okay. So traceability matrix means mapping all functional requirements to
Into
the
test cases.
test cases.
Test cases.
Yeah. Okay. Requirement clarification note means what we have.
Like we clarify, we take a clarity from the stakeholders.
Yeah.
We want to make sure like we and the stakeholders are on the same page.
Okay. Scenario means all the possible areas to be tested. Okay. Possible areas to be tested. All the possible areas to be tested. That is called as yeah. It is used to record your questions by analyzing the project requirement. Okay. All the possible areas to be tested. Now coming to case, all the possible conditions to be tested. All the possible conditions, preconditions. All the possible condition to be tested means what? You got it? What I am saying?
Yeah, all negative, positive assumptions.
Yeah.
So whatever, like we can explore to the maximum.
See, example, you have Gmail application.
Mm,
Okay. In this Gmail application, suppose I am testing login build.
mhm,
Okay. To test login build. Okay. In this login build,
mhm,
whatever the objects it contains, it may contain the links, it may contain the buttons, it may contain the list objects, text objects, images, image with the event,
mhm,
everything should be tested. Okay, everything should be covered for testing. That is called as test scenario. That is called as all the possible areas to be tested. So it means each and every build, what are the objects should be covered, that should be analyzed. So for Gmail application, we have login, inbox, send, trash, spam, compose, isn't it? Compose. These all scenarios should be analyzed and clearly tested. And
mhm.
coming to test case, we have positive as well as negative test cases. Based on the conditions, we do positive and negative test cases. Multiple options should be tested. That is called as test case. See here what is, yeah, I will show you one thing. Yeah. See here, valid, click on login. Invalid, click on login. Invalid, click on login. Invalid, click on login. Okay, for all the rest of the, for valid, then check all the scenarios. Everything, the condition, how many possible conditions to be tested. That is called as a test case specification. Test case test cases, all the possible conditions to be tested. Here we have according to the conditions, we can prepare the steps. So if it is a positive, how you do first step? Valid. If valid post case, and negative case is three types: valid, invalid. Okay. So enter the valid user ID and valid password. Click on login button. That is one step. Enter valid user ID, invalid password. Click on login. Second step. What is an expected behavior? It should not system
Mm,
should not display the next page. It throws a pop-up message saying that please enter valid password. That's the expected behavior. Like that, you have to prepare the steps with respect of the conditions. With respect of the conditions. Okay, you're not getting.
right.
You're
No, I
getting.
did get it. Yeah. Hmm.
You get or you didn't get.
No, I got it.
Yeah. See, so scenario means all the bells should be covered according to the specifications. Cases means condition. How many e- only single build in this build, how many possible conditions to be tested is called
Hmm.
as a case. Okay, is called as, suppose this build consists only use this object, this frame. Forget about all those things. We can do usability testing for this. Of course, this is also we can do resolution usability testing, and the image with the link, that is called as the functional validation.
Hmm.
Forget all those things. We have only this build. So my test case is enter valid user ID, valid password, click on login. Expected behavior means system should display login page. Okay. Actual
Mm-hmm.
behavior is if it is displaying true, if it is not displaying the application false, fail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next step. Enter valid user ID, invalid password, click on login. It should not allow the next
Page to
page
display.
and say,
Yes.
yeah, and says the error message saying that user had please check the password.
Mm-hmm.
Enter invalid user ID, valid password, click on login. Okay, expected behavior. System should not allow the page, but says please enter valid user ID. Like that, based on the steps, based on the conditions, the case will
Mm-hmm.
be prepared. The case will be prepared. Is clear? Simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This
Right.
is yeah. This is the thing. Okay. So yeah, scenario. See, these are all things. Validate the functionality of login build. Few scenarios. I will cover you this thing tomorrow. And
Okay.
test cases, positive and negative cases. So, shall we continue or shall we? mm, Tomorrow we have to only one. These five topics we have tested design techniques. Shall I tell?
Howsoever,
Yeah.
howsoever you feel comfortable. If you want to do it tomorrow, I'm fine.
Okay, we will continue tomorrow. So
Okay.
I will tell you test design technique. This is how the data will be prepared based on this, and then we move for test case preparation.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I will
Okay.
forward this template also for
Yeah,
you.
please. Sure.
Please check.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you, Shiva.
Thank you.